Break from the mayor's contest for a little bit and talk about sports venues, because the current mayor, Jim Strickland, hoping to have his legacy, I think, to at least have some kind of deal done, and is getting a lot of pressure to do that from Republican state lawmakers just this week, is in the news again, over finding some kind of funding and having a plan to not only redo Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, but FedEx Forum too. Sam, I got these numbers from your reporting, so we'll give you full credit here. But the city stadium proposal that you learned about is to spend $494 million to renovate the FedEx Forum, $220 million for Liberty Stadium, for a total of $714 million. The problem is the actual projected cost for those two projects: $550 million for FedEx Forum, $295 million for Liberty Stadium, which is a $197 million shortfall there. And it's just interesting how this is all developing, and where do you see it going? We're not talking about AutoZone Park or the soccer stadium anymore either, I noticed.
Yeah, first I want to give that proposal was first obtained by the Commercial Appeal, so I want to give them their flowers there. But one thing that's a key thing is a lot of that money, that proposal that the mayor put forward to both the Tigers, University of Memphis, and the Grizzlies, a lot of the money in that proposal doesn't yet exist. The city of Memphis probably obtained, they got $350 million in cash from the state. That's in hand. That's hit the city's bank account. What they're looking for is raising the hotel motel tax by 1.5% in the city, and they need to spend county hotel motel tax to fund these deals. You still need to raise that hotel motel tax by 1.5%. You probably need legislative approval to raise it a certain amount of that. And so there's an uphill battle here in terms of getting these things to the finish line before the mayor leaves office. And it should be pointed out, while this wanted to be a big part of the mayor's legacy and maybe won't get credit for closing these deals, imagine if 2028 came around and the Grizzlies' lease was up and the city hadn't obtained this money already. Right? Like, if this deal doesn't get done and it's handed to the next mayor, which is probably pretty likely at this point, right? It's because that administration, going together with the Tigers and the Grizzlies, went down to Nashville at a time of really an unprecedented state surplus. We're able to get $350 million in cash, right? Like, so while we're having a lot of drama and there's a lot of talk on sports radio about who deserves more, at the end of the day, the city is a lot better off in terms of taxpayers subsidizing these stadiums than it would have been otherwise.
We know U of M has thrown out the idea of decoupling this and not keeping it together. What do you think is going to happen there? Do you think they stay together as far as the Harrington or the Strickland administration is concerned?
Was that the front end slip of the future there, Richard? I think that the mayor's had every opportunity to decouple these, right? And as you can see in emails from Bill Hargrave to Jason Wexler, in August, the city was pushing, the Tigers were pushing to decouple these. The mayor hasn't done that yet, right? And so he could yet do that, but also if he does that, he ties the hands of the next guy, because then he gives them an uncompleted Grizzlies deal, and you've used some of the money that would have, for that mayor to parse out, you used some of that money on the Tigers already. That isn't to say it doesn't happen. I think it's up in the air.
Okay, Otis, you're a season ticket holder for the Grizz.
I am.
And
love my Grizz.
You retired from the University of Memphis.
Love
You've got
my
interesting
Tigers.
perspective
The
on
real
this.
Tigers.
What about the gold tie, though?
But this is both. Yes, billionaire Para could afford to write a check and pay for everything, but that's not going to happen.
But that's not.
It's just not how it's done.
It's just.
And yet U of M is only being asked to pitch in $5 million.
Right.
That seems like not very much.
Yeah. Go to your donors and go to your boosters and get more than $5 million. Let's be real about that. I really hope that this gets resolved before the next mayor takes over. I doubt that it will. And also the problem has been not enough of these candidates are talking about this issue. Mm-hmm. They need to be talking about this more. I don't think they really understand it, some of them. Yeah. But they need to get up to speed on this, because if this falls in the winner's lap, then I don't know where we're going to be on this.
And really quick, we're almost out of time, but that goes to the point of whoever is elected, they're inheriting a lot.
They are.
I haven't even talked about the $550 million lawsuit for the Tyree Nichols lawyers. I mean, it goes on and on. Who would want that job?
I think about 17
Right.
people want it. Yeah. And so, but they're going to have a lot to deal with, a whole lot to deal with.
I haven't talked about crime or any of those other things too, just a lot that they have to consider. All right, well, thanks all three of you for being here. Really appreciate your insight and perspective. We'll have answers to our questions here in just a couple of weeks. I want to thank you at home for being here as well. We'll see you next week for ABC24 This Week.